Good evening, and welcome to the Monday, April 7, 2014 meeting of the Lake Forest City Council. Could I ask the clerk to call the roll, please?
Certainly. Honorable Mayor Schoenheider.
Here.
Alderman Novit.
Here.
Alderman Waldeck.
Here.
Alderman Moore.
Here.
Alderman Pandeleon.
Here.
Alderman Tack.
Here.
Alderman Reisenberg.
Here.
Alderman Palmer.
Here.
Alderman Edelman.
Here.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Biddy, very much. The council is going to adjourn into executive session to discuss personnel matters. I need a motion to adjourn into executive session.
We say Pledge of Allegiance before we go on.
It's not on the agenda, Alderman Palmer. It's afterwards.
Are you an American?
I am an American, but I follow the agenda that Biddy gives us.
Very well, very well.
May I have a motion to go into executive session,
moved.
please?
Second.
Roll call vote, Biddy?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Alderman Novit.
Aye.
Alderman Waldeck.
Aye.
Alderman Moore.
Aye.
Alderman Pandeleon.
Aye.
Alderman Tack.
Aye.
Alderman Reisenberg.
Here.
Alderman
Aye.
Palmer.
Aye.
Alderman Edelman.
Aye.
8 yea, 0 nay. Motion carries.
Thank you. We'll be back in approximately 30 minutes.
Over here.
Downstairs or upstairs?
Good evening. The first item on the agenda this evening is reports of city officers. First one of those is comments by mayor. I'd like to read a resolution of sympathy for former Chief of Police Charlie Gilbert. Whereas Charles Gilbert was a dedicated and faithful employee of the city of Lake Forest for 24 years, from March 1, 1954 to September 22, 1978. And whereas Charles Gilbert, during his employment, was hired as a police officer and moved through the various ranks in the department. November 27, 1960 was promoted to sergeant. June 20, 1964 was promoted to lieutenant. January 4, 1965 was promoted to captain. And August 1, 1966 was promoted to chief of police. Whereas Charles Gilbert was, when appointed as chief of police at age 38, was amongst the youngest chiefs in the state. Whereas the passing of Charles Gilbert on March 6, 2014 has taken away a highly regarded family member, employee, and friend. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Lake Forest, in session on April 7, 2014, does hereby express its deep regret and sincere sympathy to the members of the family of Charles Gilbert. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the minutes of the City Council, and a copy thereof duly signed by the mayor be presented to the family of Charles Gilbert. May I have an approval of the resolution, please?
moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, unanimously approved. Chief Held, are you in the audience? Would you present the resolution, please?
I'll represent Mrs. Gilbert here.
Great.
So, again, our sympathy.
Thank you, and our sympathy as well. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda, approval of the agreement to establish a Founders Council between the City of Lake Forest and Lake Forest College. Several months ago, Bob Kiley and President Scott and I had some discussions about continuing to further engage the college with the city. I'm a big believer and a firm believer that the college is a tremendous asset to Lake Forest. And I believe there are times when we've not been able to collectively put our heads together, so to speak, do some things that were positive for both entities. And so we kicked around the concept of doing kind of what you would think of as like a town gown committee. And out of this came a little more formalized process called the Founders Council. The council will have an executive group made up of members from both the city as well as the college. There'll be certain subcommittees from the college and the city working on issues like health and safety, community planning, cooperative marketing, things that I think, again, the city and the college can do an increasingly better job at working together. So I think it's a tremendous thing. I'm very excited about the prospect of kicking it off. I know in discussions with President Scott, and he and his board are very excited as well. And unless there's other questions, I'd like to ask for an approval of the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Needed my glasses for that one. I'm going to move to the fourth item on my report, which is a proclamation for Sunset Foods' 77th anniversary. And if I may read that as well. Whereas in 1937, four Cortese brothers established Sunset Foods in Highland Park as a small grocery store intent on providing excellent customer service. And whereas over the years, the company has expanded to 4 locations while continuing to offer small-town friendliness. And whereas Sunset Foods received the National Neighborhood Partnership Award with the Boy Scouts of America in support of Shields and Moraine Valley Township food pantries. And whereas Sunset Foods is dedicated to giving back to the communities it serves, including through multiple programs with both District 67 and 115, as well as many other not-for-profit local organizations. And whereas Sunset Foods is celebrating 77 years as a neighborhood supermarket committed to providing the finest customer service with the goal of recognizing and understanding its Lake Forest clientele. Therefore, I, Donald P. Schoenheider, Mayor of the City of Lake Forest, proclaim the city's best wishes on the 77th anniversary of Sunset Foods and call its significance to the citizens of the City of Lake Forest. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the minutes of the City Council, and a copy hereof, duly signed by the mayor, be presented to the City of Lake Forest this 7th day of April, 2014. Do I have a motion to approve the proclamation?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none? Unanimously approved. May I have someone come up and I can present this to them?
It's an anniversary.
Thank you.
You gotta work.
Next on my agenda this evening is the Business Accelerator update with Susan Kelsey, Economic Development Coordinator.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council. I'm delighted to give you an update on the Lake Forest Business Accelerator. It's a vibrant part of the community. It's located on the west side of Lake Forest. It's a standalone building on the Grove Cultural Campus near the Dickinson Hall, the Sterling Pottery Center, the Music Center, and the Career Resource Center. Tonight, I wanted to touch on 3 items. One is talk about the accelerator, what we've been doing the past 18 months, what we're doing today, what our plans are for the rest of the year. Introduce some of our members and our advisors, and then talk the last slide about the upcoming events. A year ago, we presented to you, I thought it would just be good to recap, why an accelerator in Lake Forest? Well, we know, doing some of our research, that over 80% of the businesses that are incubated in a community tend to remain in that community. Stats from the U.S. Small Business Administration indicate that 60 to 80% of all jobs created are from small businesses, so that bodes well for the city of Lake Forest. We also found that we're developing kind of what we call a hyper-local ecosystem, where people are networking with each other, the businesses are networking with each other, they're networking with advisors and local residents. And what we're experiencing is about 1 new business is joining the accelerator every week. We set up some goals for ourselves. In the past 18 months, we've met the goals at the end of year 2013. We're on target to meet all our goals for 2014. We measure the number of businesses that are in the accelerator. We measure the number of people that are in offices. We have 9 offices. We actually have a waiting list of about a dozen businesses, so we're doubling up people in our offices now. So by the end of this year, we'll have 12 to 18 businesses located at the accelerator. Increasing our number of networking events. I'll go through those in the last slide. Tracking the number of businesses that are actually launched in Lake Forest. It's also important to identify those that are moving to permanent space. The good news is we're almost at capacity in Lake Forest for office space as well as our retail space. So we've worked out a deal with Regis and with a discount for accelerator members. We're looking at the number of employees that are hired, interns, paid, non-paid, and then most recently, the number of advisor members, which I'll go through. We have over 60 accelerator members. Most of them are in the technology field. They kind of are dividing into 2 groups of healthcare and finance, those kind of clusters. And interestingly, that parallels with what's going on at the Conway Office Park with retail or finance and healthcare clusters. Let me introduce you to a couple of our businesses. Meet Sarah Solutions. Chris Clemenson owns this. It's a patent pending technology app product to reduce the paperwork for hiring new employees. They're about ready to expand nationwide. Inspirotech is a medical device company. Although they're not housed at our accelerator, they have a number of their meetings that they host in one of our 2 conference rooms. Meet the Zen of Slow Cooking. You met Meg. She's actually here tonight. You met her a year ago. Since that time, she came to the farmers market, tested a lot of her product with our local community, has expanded her product line. She's developed an online website for e-commerce now, and has really forged some interesting partnerships with Williams-Sonoma here in Lake Forest and other businesses. Our newest member that we're so proud of, Soy by a Boy, it's 3 Lake Forest students. 2 are still at the high school, 1 is off to college, but they're also going to participate in the farmers market this summer and do some market testing and work on their soy candles. Preston Financial, he joined with his business and he has since referred 3 more businesses to the accelerator. 80/20 Business Solutions, Tom Horan is a local B2B company doing cloud computing. He's now doubled up and sharing an office with Tom Walsh, who does Google Analytics and digital marketing. And Digital Fanfare, Michael Lees, he's here this evening. He actually started with a different company, and he has since launched this company, Digital Fanfare. He came up to me and said, I'm hiring all these Lake Forest College interns, and I think he's actually paying them. And we noticed that there's businesses in Lake Forest that need websites. They need social media marketing. They need assistance with developing their technology platform. So he's hiring students and has created a company, Digital Fanfare, that will actually help local Lake Forest businesses. Thank you, Michael. At the same time that we've been launching our accelerator, Lake Forest College has been working on a new entrepreneur center. So Darlene Jafke is a professor in the Business and Economics Department, and she was recently appointed the director of their new entrepreneur center. Just last fall, Lake Forest College announced a new minor in entrepreneurship. So they're moving forward, and we look forward to continuing our collaboration with them. Last fall, we had our first class we linked our businesses with Lake Forest College class. We had 3 of our businesses, 9 of their students. It was so successful, we're doing it again this fall, but we're doubling it. So we have 6 businesses and we have 18 students. They work together for the entire semester. And then in the fall, which is open to the public, it's the week of Thanksgiving, this next 2014. And the students come up with their marketing plan and ad campaign and social media plan. New this year is our advisory network, and we really are creating a dream team. What we heard from our businesses is they need more assistance with mentoring, advice, where can we get more resources. And as you know, sitting on the city council, working with Lake Forest Caucus and the boards and commissions and our school boards, there's an incredible depth of talent in Lake Forest. So we wanted to use that impressive array of local talent. We really find that it's covering the whole spectrum. Could be finance, HR, at all various executive levels. And our vision really is to tap into that local expertise and really provide some mentorship and advisors for our businesses. Richard Trigger's here, which I'll introduce in a minute. But how it works is we have 15 volunteers at this point. We're always looking for more. We have our first advisory meeting April 23rd, and the Accelerator members will present their unique challenge or maybe a couple of challenges, and those advisors and the businesses can work through some of these challenges. So let me just introduce you to a few of our advisors. Jim Bauer, he was our first advisor that joined on. He was sent over from Marla at the Dickinson Hall. He's got an incredible background, 45 years in the telecommunications industry. Phil Corsi, a marketing guru down in Chicago. We're fortunate to have him, a lot of experience in digital startups, working with Techstars in Chicago, adjunct professor at Kellogg. Justin Jarvinen, I met with Justin last week. He and his family just moved to Lake Forest last November. Serial entrepreneur down in Chicago. Now we have him in Lake Forest. Clearly somebody that we're looking forward to working with. But just in the past week, he's come back to me and he's with a proposal that we're so excited to launch. And it's really connecting all of the talent in Lake Forest, connecting all of our businesses, and connecting it with shopping local. So hopefully we'll be back here next year and show you the progress on that. Richard Trigger, who I identified, he's been so helpful in pulling together, a lot of our advisory rules and looking at the legal and the volunteerism for our advisory group here. Catherine Sazdanoff, she's with Takeda Pharmaceuticals, VP of Corporate Products, Global Business Development. We're so excited to have her on board. Again, finding we're in these healthcare clusters and finance clusters. Rob Collins is our international China trade guy. We do have 3 businesses that have a global presence. Robert Wilcox, 45 years in HR. We have a number of businesses that have human resource challenges, so we look forward to tapping into his expertise. Robert Masacchio, Chief Development Officer at the American Medical Association. Look forward to working with him on with his experience in P&L. And Donald Patton, again, Senior Vice President with U.S. Pharmaceuticals, with Abbott Labs. We look forward to working with him. This is the last slide, and it really just kind of gives you an update of what we have going on between now and the end of the year. We have monthly advisor meetings. Those are members only, so you have to be a member of the Accelerator to take advantage of that. But we do have a lot of public events. We have monthly grill outs. We have a grill there that will have our little networking, but also what we call the water cooler effect, where we can kind of get businesses developing camaraderie with each other. We have monthly luncheon speakers. Those are open to the public. We want to showcase all of our businesses, our advisors, all the innovative programs, events, speakers that are happening this next fall, September 6th through 13. Our keynote speaker right in the middle of the week is going to be Iqbal Arshad. He's the Senior Vice President with Google Motorola Mobility, who was recently bought out by Lenovo in China. So it'll be interesting to talk to him about his career path. But all these events you can find at the City of Lake Forest website. So that's my last slide. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Susan, I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you and congratulations. I know whenever you and I'd run into each other, we'd be at a meeting together, I'd say, so how's the Accelerator going? And every time you and I would talk, the story got better. And that doesn't just happen. It comes with a lot of hard work, and it comes with great vision. And I really would applaud, and I think the council would all applaud your great vision, because obviously this is something that's tremendous for our business community and for our community as a whole. So thank you, and thanks to everyone who's been involved in it for your time and the commitment. This is the kind of thing when you do volunteer work here in a community and you can point to something like this, it really does kind of point to, these are the things that we really can get done if we do some things together. So thank you again for all you've done.
Well, thank you. It's really been a grassroots-driven effort, and I really need to thank Bob Kiley, too, for his vision and his support of the concept.
Great. Questions for Susan?
Could I just ask
Yeah.
a blatant plug? There's a new business in town. I think it's a stitch shop, Candace
Yes.
Engelhardt. And I just wondered if you knew anything about that, which I'm
Yeah.
sure you do.
I did. I went up to visit her shop. She's located on the very north end of Western Avenue, so up by where the dog shops are and across from the Crystal Point condos. It's absolutely a beautiful shop. You need to stop in there, whether you do needlecraft or not. But it's a beautiful shop. She's got a fireplace, seating, all these hand-painted stitchery projects that you can purchase, so it's really worth going to visit.
And just one other comment, something that maybe not everyone in the council appreciates, but aside from working during the week, every weekend during the summer, I see you putting in many hours for farmer's market. I'm assuming that's going to go on again this summer?
Yep.
Okay.
Farmers Market starts Saturday, June 21st. It runs for 18 Saturdays. We have a lot of new things scheduled this year. We have a kid corral, we have live music, we have produce wagons, so you can buy even more produce. And we have 11 farm-to-table produce makers there and 25 vendors. So it's 8 to 12, or 8 to 1 o'clock every Saturday.
Look forward to seeing
Thanks for your
you.
support, Mr. Novit.
Susan, is the building full up out there on Grove campus?
Building is full. We have 9 offices. We were doing 1 business per office. Now I'm doubling them up. So by the end of this year, we should have 2 businesses. I even have poor Michael in the fire escape up there.
You know,
And we have a waiting list of about a dozen businesses.
Wow, I was last out there in the middle of the winter, and it was pickled and freezing in the building. I noticed in your first slide there was a through-the-wall air conditioning unit. So I
Yeah.
take it you don't have central air?
No, we don't. We put
Write a memo to PPL committee.
Okay. All right, that sounds great. Thank you.
Anything else for Susan? Susan, thank you
Thank you.
again very much. And that concludes my report. Next item on the agenda, comments by city manager. Karina?
No comments this evening.
Great, thank you. Item number 3, comments by council members. Anyone with anything this evening? Nothing? Okay. Next item on the agenda, opportunity for citizens to address the council on non-agenda items. Anyone care to address the council on a non-agenda item? Seeing no one, we're headed very quickly to a close. I can sense it. However, next item on the agenda is the omnibus, and it has 16 items, so you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to read each of these. I will ask the council to take these together unless any member of the council would like to separate these and discuss these individually, and then at the end we'll ask for a vote on all of them. Item number 1, approval of the March 17, 2014 City Council minutes. Number 2, check register for period February 22 to March 28, 2014. Item number 3, award of bid for the replacement of a 3/4-ton extended cab pickup truck for the park section included in the FY 2015 capital equipment budget. Number 4, award of a bid for replacement of a 3/4-ton regular cab pickup truck for the park section included in the FY 2015 capital equipment budget. Number 5, award of a bid for the replacement of a dump body, hydraulic system, and snowplow for a forestry truck included in the FY 2015 capital equipment budget. Number 6, award of bid for the replacement of 2 existing building maintenance vehicles included in the FY 2015 capital improvement budget. Number 7, award of bid for replacement of a half-ton extended cab pickup truck for the streets and sanitation section included in the FY 2015 capital equipment budget. Number 8, award of a contract for fitness center treadmills. Number 9, approval of FY 15 contract for emerald ash borer tree and stump removal. Number 10, approval of contract for annual tree planting for FY 15 budget. Number 11, approval of contract for annual grounds maintenance services in parks FY 15 budget. Number 12, approval of contract for Northcroft and Deer Path Park tennis court resurfacing and fence replacement. Number 13, award of contract for Lake Forest share of the 2014 Joint Annual Pavement Patching Contractual Program. Number 14, award of the contract, Lake Forest share of the Joint 2014 Annual Street Resurfacing ASR Program Contract. Number 15, award of bid for the 2014 Lake Forest Water Plant Intake Cleaning Project. And number 16, award of bid for the 2014 Lake Forest Gorton Community Center HVAC Replacement Project. Any of the council care to take any of those items independently? If not, I'd ask for a motion to approve.
I actually have one
question. I was really surprised that we were only able to get one bid that was acceptable for 2 treadmills, or however many treadmills there were. I mean, that's a pretty routine item. How is it that we ended up with a single bidder and one disqualified bidder and one other bidder? I'm just, and the bid that's being recommended is $6,000 higher than the disqualified bidder. So I'd be interested in what disqualified that other bidder and why there were only 2 bidders that made it through the process. Did we not have enough? I mean, it just, I have a treadmill in my basement. I mean, they can be bought. There are a lot of people selling.
It's also true for the divers. Only one company bid for the diving.
Okay. Members of council, my name is Jason Bustecker. I'm the manager of the fitness center with the recreation department. And to address your question, the treadmills, 2 of the treadmills we went out to bid for were very specific with the features that were involved in them. One of those features being a 30% incline. Traditional treadmills, residential or commercial use, traditionally go anywhere between 12 and 15%. So those 2 treadmills were very specific as part of the bid process. So that was the one reason why the
And that
one
just
bidder was
limited,
disqualified.
that limited the field?
Yes.
Oh, and
absolutely.
they didn't provide that feature?
Correct.
And there was only one place you could go to get those kinds of treadmills?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
You couldn't have just taken the treadmills and put them up on blocks to get to the extra
Good idea.
Okay.
car drag or something.
Thank you,
That's
Jason.
fine.
Thank you.
Along those
questions?
same lines, because, and not to pick on Mary, but the fitness center, when I saw the treadmills, it dawned on me, do we have a separate profit and loss, a P&L, for the fitness center operations? Because we're periodically replacing equipment there, and you have to amortize it. I'd love to see what the income and expenses look like just on the fitness center ops.
Jason, do you want to respond to that again, or?
You don't have to give it to me now. I would just like to see
Okay.
it sometime.
And just one other comment, and I just need clarification from Mike. On item 13, which would be for the asphalt, the award of the contract for the joint annual paving, we're taking $200,000 from the 2015 budget as discussed at the March Finance Committee meeting.
Correct. So we have $225,000 budgeted for asphalt patching. At the conclusion of your March 10th budget meeting, the recommendation came from Alderman Reisenberg to add the $200,000 additional dollars to patching, simply because of the condition of our streets after this past winter. Since then, our streets guys and our engineering guys have been out in the field inspecting all the streets. That amount takes you from 225 to 425. We've reduced some work that we're going to do in Lake Forest Heights, and we're taking $28,000 that we were putting towards the concrete streets and adding it to the asphalt patching. That's how you come up with the 453. 225, 200, 425. Another 28 gets us to 453. We're able still to get what we need to get done in Lake Forest Heights as far as concrete street patching. That bid will come to you at your April 21st council agenda.
Thanks. I just wanted clarification on source of funds. Thank you.
Both are out of the capital fund for FY15.
Can I just ask a question? And going through this, it seems to me that this year we've purchased an extraordinarily large number of vehicles. Tahoes for the police department, multiple pickup trucks now, and I'm always struck when I look at them. Some of these are 2001. That seems to have been a particularly bad year. Vehicles with 80,000 miles that are 14 years old that are all rusted out, and it seems to, why are we buying so many vehicles? Why do they have such low mileage? And if they have such low mileage, why do we need so many vehicles? I mean, the whole thing seems a little bit crazy to me. Plus, where are we storing them that they rot out when they only have 80,000 miles on them?
First of all, before we moved over to new MS, a lot of the vehicles are stored outside. over on the Stone area at Old MS, so that limestone actually did create a whole lot of rot for the vehicles. We now, when we purchase vehicles, are undercoating them. But the fact that a lot of these vehicles are plow vehicles, they've got salt that's constantly on them, calcium chloride that is on them. So we have rocker panels, door jambs, we have all sorts of underbody brake line parts that are rusting out. And it's not a use of a residential or a homeowner vehicle. These are vehicles that are used by multiple crews every day, and they're used like regular work trucks, quite honestly. So we just begin to hit that point where we are looking at spending a lot of money on some of these vehicles, and with 250 pieces of rolling stock that the city has, we've got a 10-year replacement schedule that we try to separate these vehicles out. By no means are the vehicles on a 10-year replacement cycle, but we have a spreadsheet that looks that forecasts for 10 years in the future. So this is simply our way of balancing the purchases so we don't come to City Council one year and request $1.5 million in vehicles. We look at things that we're really beginning to spend a lot of money on. We request those in the capital equipment budget. And again, the items that we reviewed with the Public Works Committee at their December meeting, and then the subsequent March budget meeting as well.
Fair enough.
Anything else?
I just remembered something, and as a skier, you'll know this to be true, that a 30% incline is a single black diamond ski run. Who runs up that?
More of a walking effort.
Okay, all
At
right.
that point.
It just seems,
That's pretty extreme.
All right, can I have a motion to approve the omnibus, please?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Roll call vote, Biddy?
Alderman Novit.
Aye.
Alderman Waldeck.
Aye.
Alderman Moore.
I,
Alderman Pendleon.
Aye.
Alderman Tack.
Aye.
Alderman Reisenberg.
Aye.
Alderman Palmer.
Aye.
Alderman Edelman.
Aye.
8 yea, 0 nay, motion carries.
Thank you, Biddy, very much. Next item on the agenda, ordinances. I don't believe we have any ordinances this evening to entertain. Item number 7, new business. Any other new business to come before the council? Seeing none, additional items for council discussion? Seeing none, I would ask for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
So was my presentation.